So, this is all very exciting, but for the wrong reasons, really, I'm afraid. In the kindest way possible, I didn't really want to be doing this interview. But you can box it off, you can produce the right kind of outcome with the right kind of result on Friday, and that's the good news, isn't it?
Yeah, look, our destiny's still in our own hands. That's really important. So, it doesn't matter what's happened the last 28 rounds and how it all comes down to tomorrow night. And, we've prepared really well. We've been able to, touch wood, after captain's run today, we'll know that we've got 2 or 3 back. So, we're at home. We final chance to play well in front of our loyal supporters that have turned up every week for us. So we've got a lot to play for, and there's certainly I'd be certainly disappointed if we don't bring our best performance tomorrow night.
You've lived in Huddersfield long enough, Simon, to know how opinionated rugby league fans are. Makes a great conversation. Here's the most outlandish theory I've heard this week. Well, the Giants chucked the game against Saints because that meant they can put it all on the Catalan performance.
Yeah, no, we weren't in a position to throw any game. So, look, obviously there were some players there that may have gotten through the Saints game if we played them, but it was silly to risk them knowing that we could well have to win back at home the week after. And, to come back home a week after minus 2 or 3 guys because we pushed them against Saints just would have been silly. So, look, we made that decision. We went and I thought we tried hard against Saints, but look, they had their best 17 on the field. They're way too good for us, and that showed. So I thought, there were some patches where we played well and, we looked okay, but, they were just way too good for us. And like I said, that's in the past now. We've just got to make sure we're right for tomorrow night.
Hearing yourself, hearing Jerry and all the other guys who talk to us, it's impossible not to be optimistic for your chances. It's clear that you have a talented squad, but there's stuff to fix in there. Do you find yourself visualising what would happen if the worst case scenario materialised? Do you visualise yourself and these guys playing in the Championship?
Well, no, I've heard, we've got Willie Poaching on our coaching staff, and he spoke, very well a couple of weeks ago from the heart about, he was involved in a team, I think it was Hull KR, when they were knocked out and put back down to Championship, and I think it really hit home to a few guys of, what devastation, it would be having to go back down to Championship. And, I think, it puts a lot of pressure on the guys, but and I've said it before, it's pressure we've got to deal with, and it's got to bring out our best in because that's the only option we really have, to be honest. So I haven't looked too far ahead. I haven't really ever seen us being relegated to Championship. Obviously, it's a possibility this week, but we can control that, and that's the most important thing.
What is clear as well is that your guys care. They care about being below par this season, not delivering for the fans, and that kind of emotion surely is a useful one going into a win or bust game.
Yeah, look, tomorrow night's just an opportunity for us. It's an opportunity for us to finish the season off well, to come off feeling good about staying in Super League, and then we can all go away and have a holiday and come back. We've already started the review process, from a coaching point of view, from a high performance point of view, from a playing roster point of view. There are some things in place that are going to change, some things where we feel we need to change to make sure we're better and we don't make the same mistakes next year. But we can't get too far ahead of ourselves, and we've got to win tomorrow night first. And once we do that, we'll start putting those changes into action.
There'll be delicate decisions for you and the club. Can you be specific about any of them, Simon? Because a lot of the fans would have their own fancy as to what they would change.
Oh, no, not really. I mean, when you have a year like this, you've got to review all departments. I mean, like I said, the high performance department, the coaches, we've got to have a good look at what we did and what we can do better. We've got to have a look at our roster like any club any year, and obviously with such a disappointing year, and I know there's been a lot of circumstances, pretty much out of our control as far as some injuries we've received, but we certainly can do things. We have looked at ways we can improve next year already, but we've got to not put the cart before the horse. We've got to make sure we're there first, and that we'll start actioning some of the stuff we've got in planning after we get through.
Here's perhaps the toughest question that I would ask you in these circumstances, Simon. What on earth can you expect from Catalan Dragons?
Well, it's hard because they've come under a lot of criticism that they're not sending a full strength team, which that shouldn't give us any reason to be complacent because we don't have a full strength team either. So It's funny, I think we need to start well against Catalan. We can't afford them to come and get a try or two on us early. That'll get their tails up. It'll give them some confidence and some belief and some energy. So we got to make sure we start well. We've still got some quality world class players. McAlorum, Tompkins, Greg Bird. I know he's at the back end of his career now, but he's got a lot of experience. He knows how to win games of footy. And they'll have a few young guys in who are looking to impress the coach for next year. So it's hard to predict what Catalans team are going to turn up, but again, what we can control is what Giants team turns up.
Thank you, Tom. Good luck.
Greg Bird's final game of his career, isn't it, on Friday? Have you come across him much in your time?
Yeah, look, I played a bit. I played a little bit against Birdie at the back end of my career, but he's a real competitor. He's achieved everything in the game. He's had numerous man of match performances at state of origin level. So, he's been a quality player for a long time, and, he's a real competitor. That's a real feature of Birdie's. Sometimes his competitiveness has got him on the wrong side of the law, but he's always been like that, and it's been successful for him. So, no doubt that will be something they've spoken about this week, about trying to send Birdie off, with a win. And, we're certainly preparing for a Catalans team that are going to come and have a real dig, that's for sure.
You keep tabs on the other games, because if Wakefield have got their game sewn up at half time, you can relax. Yeah?
Well, it's hard not to keep tabs on it. I'd be lying if I said I won't be. But our IT guy last week, kept nudging me and telling me the score of the KR game, and that was up and down. And I don't think it did anyone any good really. But again, my focus will be on making sure we're playing well and we're winning, and then I won't have to worry about the other two games.
Have you got your two halfbacks back this week then?
Well, they've done everything right so far. They just need to train. They haven't trained with the team all week. They've been building up to get to captain's run. So they're literally over there going through their progressions to get into the captain's run now. So hopefully they're confident. Gasky and Fralls are confident that they're going to get through and they're going to be right to play. But obviously Russ and Tommy Holmes have trained with the team Monday and Tuesday, so if one of them or both of them end up being no good, we'll just run with what we've run with all week.